Welcome to episode 33 of Drew's Baseball Crew. Here on this Sunday morning, myself, Drew Skyberg, is bringing you your winning lineup here for DFS today. Whether you're playing on Fantasia Sports, for example, which they have the DFS, which I'll be having my own contest up today. So go check that out. It's going to be called Drew's Sports Crew. But otherwise, right, if you're playing anywhere else, right, we got to bring you a winning lineup. We have some early games today, too. So, we gotta be quick on it. We have a game starting at 11:05 today. Most slates might not include that though, so just to keep that one though in mind. If by chance you are playing in a slate that doesn't, you're playing in contest that includes that 11:05 game, Texas and Washington, because that game there's a lot of questions here. There is a probability. I'm gonna get right into it here. There's a probability of rain. 41% chance right now is what I'm seeing. And then it's the game with the highest over under. So at the same time, my thought right away is, okay, let's capitalize on this game. Let's get as many players as we can in it. Worst case, right before the game, if we see like some postponement or something, we can make a change. That's my plan. I think that's the way to go. At Yankee Stadium today, it looks like there's going to be some rain as well in Cubs Yankees potentially. Other than that, I mean, the weather looks pretty good. A lot of dome stadiums today, which ends up coming in nice. So yeah, we should be getting rain other than those early games, basically on the East Coast. But that's the weather report right away. Looking decent. It's not too bad, but we gotta assess these high over unders, right? We see 10.5 as the over under for Texas. 9.5 in the Oakland Boston game, and then we see they don't know how to price out the Reds Brewers game, which I will be at today, by the way. So I won't just throw Brewer players in there, I promise. And then we also have Pittsburgh, Arizona at 9.5, mostly because of Cody Bolton and Zach Davies pitching. There's some, people aren't sure about how it's going to go. So let's let's look at players historically who have had great numbers so far against the pitchers they will be facing today. I think that this is always a good place to start, right? Let's dig into the numbers. Let's just look. What does history tell us right now, right? Not taking into account like weather and other factors. What history tells us is, right, Charlie Blackmon has very good numbers off of Logan Webb. Thing is, he's been hurt, so that's not going to really help us out here today. But going through other guys who could, Harrison Bader currently, or against Kyle Hendricks for his career. This might surprise you. He's 9 for 24. He's got an OPS of just around 1,000 and only 3 strikeouts. So Bader has hit the ball hard too. He's got 4 extra base hits here against Hendricks and some good numbers there. So maybe Bader is a guy you plug in the lineup if you're getting some good value. Other than that, Ryan McMahon is someone right away. I know that they are on the road today, but Colorado on the road always is tough. Might not be a bad play. OPS around 860 or so here. Definitely low the numbers. 4 for McMahon here against Webb. Next up, we have keep in mind Zach Eflin came from the NL East, so we have some Braves who have some good numbers against Eflin. And Albies is actually the main one here. He's batting 304. OPS is over 900. I mean, he's got really good numbers here. A home run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Acuna's numbers are it's a 280 average, but it's like Acuna's normal numbers, like his numbers for like a full season. So ends up not being like maybe a value there per se. Mike Yastrzemski, so lefty on lefty. Listen to this. He's batting 500 in 12 plate appearances against Kyle Freeland for his career. I think that's pretty cool. It's a good one to keep in mind. Patrick Corbin has gotten the best of Corey Seager. So why I bring this one up is when we try to build our stack today, definitely don't want to include Seager in the stack. He is 5 for 32 with 10 strikeouts against Patrick Corbin for his career. Granted, some of that came when Corbin looked a lot better in Arizona. Definitely still probably want to avoid today. But other than that, I mean, there's really not a lot of guys who have some history, but there's enough where like Willie Castro, for example, with Minnesota Twins. He has only 7 plate appearances against Gibson, but they have gone very well. 4 for 7, and with 2 doubles. So like I said, good numbers. Or Brandon Belock, a guy who has not been up long, but JP Crawford is already 4 for 8 against. That's a good enough sample size. You know, like that's good enough where I'd be willing to bet on that. You know, I would feel pretty confident. You know, that like guys like JP Crawford and Willie Castro, just looking at like weather and other factors as well, like on the matchup side right now, like that's a green light for me. Other than that, there wasn't too many other guys. I do like Hamer Candelario here today against Dunning. Dunning's underlying numbers aren't the best, so I certainly think Candelario could be a good play today. So there's like as you see, there's not much on the matchup side. Also, now that the Reds have named Ben Lively their starter, Victor Caratini has a home run off Lively. He's 2 for 3. You know, it's small, but like Caratini's been swinging a hot bat lately. I'm intrigued to see if he's going to be in the lineup today, though. That's what we're going to have to monitor. I'd rather have him DH maybe over Winker, but let's move through here and let's go to looking at like ballpark pal. We're going to take into account some weather, then matchups, and some other factors here. So basically, guys, I named there, right? Like Harrison Bader, Ryan McMahon, Ozzie Albies, and Mike Yastrzemski. So there's like 4 guys right there or so that I felt have pretty good matchups. Then like Willie Castro, I mentioned. So like going through it, and also JP Crawford. Right, models you'll see today love they love today the Texas Rangers. Right, Vegas loves them. Why not get a piece of that? Is the idea. So with that, literally ballpark pal is their whole lineup in on top, but no, I like to look through more and look at like what matchups maybe we want to take advantage of more here. You definitely probably want to have 2 or 3 Texas Rangers here against Patrick Corbin. I'm all for it. I honestly want some Nationals here in this lineup as well, but I'm looking at like guys like Garver and Ezekiel Duran. So actually guys in the bottom of the lineup for sure. Then also Josh Young. You know, I think Josh Young he's a top a lot of models today. I think he's going to be definitely a good play today. So I'm looking more at like Josh Young and then looking at Garver and Duran, Ezekiel Duran, Mitch Garver, like those guys. I go right. The righty and lefty matchup helps well. Garver, we know, destroys lefties. And then just with how Corbin has struggled against right-handed pitching, for me, it feels like the appropriate play. His ERA is over 5. Dane Dunning 8-1 with a 2.61 ERA. He's had a very good first half, but right, I mean, a lot of strikeouts there. There's some questions for me where I still would feel comfortable taking Heimer Candelario today. Then also, a lot of people like Stone Garrett. So if he's in the lineup today, a lot of models like him today, including Ballpark Pal, for example. They have him as the top Washington National. They actually have him as one of the top hitters in general today. Another one I like, so I should have highlighted more. Ballpark Pal highlights Steven Matz, right? Poor matchup for him today against the White Sox, right? Right-handed hitting heavy lineup. Got that? Okay. Matz is 0-7 with the 5 ERA. Yes. It's crazy. I know. He's not looked great at all. But certainly looking through that lineup there on the White Sox side, there are some guys you're going to probably want in your lineup. Jake Berger is one that comes to my mind. Right? This over-under is a 9 for a reason. I think Berger, he's projected about like 6 or 7 today. I like his spot here he hits lefties well. He hits for power too. We love home runs. Definitely want him in my lineup. A guy who shows up on Ballpark's model when it runs the predictions today, Zach. It's Zach Remillard. He's batting 8 today. He's at corner outfield. So the model is like screaming his name today. When I say that, he's got a plus 41% run change and he's in like his probabilities changed significantly today. So maybe it's a guy you want to put in your lineup, right? Again, he's a right-handed hitter. He's facing a lefty. I don't know how much the model is going to account for that, but Matz has struggled against right-handed pitching, right? And definitely he's going to be kind of a platoon guy, it seems, with how they're using him. So could maybe throw in Zach Millard with the Chicago White Sox. But yeah, I mean, Eloy and Robert have been swinging. They've been on fire. They've been swinging. Their bat's been hot. Jake Berger, again, though, is probably the guy who I'm looking at in the lineup. Feel he's in a good spot. And I don't know what start we're going to get from Giolito today, so I don't know if I can suggest any Cardinals, but definitely that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, so that's like good enough. I gave you a lot of players so far. Definitely built a lineup with that, but I want to give a few more before we go into the pitching report, right? And going through it, I'm looking through. Oh yeah, this was one that was no brainer for me. We talked about Mike Yastrzemski dominating lefty on lefty, adding an average of 500 against Kyle Freeland for his career. Right, all those 6 for 12, smaller sample size, but we don't know how much Colorado's in effect. JD Davis is a guy who has hit lefties well, and Ballpark Pal loves his matchup today. And that's going to be with JD Davis. He's going to be back in the middle of the order in that Giants lineup. Right, over-under's at 8, which is not the lowest today, but also not the highest. So there's going to be some runs there, most likely. And I think JD Davis is in a good enough spot where I'd be feeling good taking him. So I'd go Davis potentially and Yastrzemski from that game. And then I haven't even talked about the Pirates yet. Right? And the Pirates are against Zach Davies. I can't leave them out. So they have a pretty right-handed hitting heavy lineup against Davies, but with Davies, has it unfortunately mattered, righty or lefty? It's been a tough year so far for him. And right away I'm looking at Henry Davis, right? And the eligibility factors, right? Right now it's outfield for him, but he's playing it right. He's a safe bet for points. He gets on base. He might be singles and doubles right now, but definitely think long term, right? There's gonna be some pop, but looking today, I think he's a good play today for sure. Also, Carlos Santana, who's hit righties well. It's been his power side mostly we've seen. We saw it against the Brewers for sure. So those two, and then Nick Gonzalez has been hot. I don't know if you want to take him today, but if you are need a corner or a middle infielder, right? He's second base eligible for DFS. So Nick Gonzalez has been swinging a hot bat. Has a good matchup today against Zach Davies. So it might be just like put them together. He's the second best or third best Pittsburgh matchup today per Ballpark Pal. Percent change of 20 positive percentage points there. So there's the hitter report. That's where I'm at. Yes, you didn't hear too many Brewers, but Lively's a good matchup for them in Milwaukee. I'm waiting until the lineup's finalized. I'm looking if Caratini's in it, and then Bryce Turang's my backup for middle infield. So that's where I'm at the lineup. Yelich is starting to get overpriced a little bit, so just have to acknowledge that. But let's go through the pitcher report. So you may see who is the in the thumbnail here. Tariq Skubal. Why? I think he's the best value today. Honestly, where he's priced out at, people are still a little weary, right? They don't know how he's going to come back from his first start. His first start was phenomenal. Velo's up. He only goes like 4 innings. So the question marks there are understandably so there. But I definitely think Skubal is going to be some progression. Toronto they're against, and obviously they're not going to throw a combined no-hitter like yesterday again. But I do think Skubal, could go and have a great start today against Toronto. So he's definitely pitcher 1 for me. Right, and also the numbers have looked good. Right, I mean, I talk about Velo beat up, but you can't even compare this guy to where he was last year. Fastball's up like 2 miles per hour. So I'm definitely excited to see Skubal to pitch today. Otherwise, right, I mean, the over and under, right, I sometimes like to go over this, but Aaron Nola and Jesus Luzardo, this over under is at 7.5. This is low, like a low over and under with Miami and Philly. It makes sense, but I'm really looking at Aaron Nola today. I think the strikeouts, right? The whiffs have been there for Nola, swinging strikes and such. A good matchup against, right, this Miami offense, which is somewhat underrated. But again, after you get through a rise in Soler, De La Cruz, there's not much going on, right? They're starting Dane Myers and Nick Fortes, who offensively aren't the greatest of players. So definitely like Nola today. I think strikeouts will be there for sure. So I'm looking at Aaron Nola as SP1, like Nola is like my starting pitcher one with pairing him with Rick Skubal. That's kind of how I'm operating the pitching side today. But you can't go wrong with some of these guys. I feel like Musgrove has a streak of quality starts, right? I mean, like he feels like a safe floor play today, but I'm chasing upside today, for sure. Then maybe even like Joe Ryan, right? I mean, just guys who you feel are gonna put together good starts. Logan Gilbert's been on fire. I believe he threw a complete game shutout last time out, so definitely want to keep all those guys in mind when I'm building my lineup. But I'm gonna lean Skubal and I'm gonna lean Nola. So that's where I'm building my lineup, right? Got the pitchers, and then all right, I'm attacking this 11:05 first pitch game. It's Patrick Corbin, Dane Dunning, but the big thing for me is, is this game gonna go on with the rain and stuff? So definitely gonna be monitoring this before the game, right? And then if I need to make changes, I'm gonna move off of them appropriately. Gave a lot of names throughout this episode, and definitely. And if you want to see what I'm rolling with, I'm gonna post my lineup. I post it on social media at Drew Sports Crew, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And so I'll be doing that. And then also it's gonna be on YouTube, Drew Sports Crew, Facebook, Drew Sports Crew as well. All right, I'm gonna be at the Brewer game. Gonna be enjoying, right, the time. And of course, what I have with me, you guessed it, Point Premium Root Beer, right? The zero sugar root beer from Stevens Point Brewery. It's phenomenal. It's got a blend of vanilla here in it with the root beer, and it's everything you want a bottle. I mean, it's my favorite root beer, and I enjoy it. It's available in stores and such. There's their website below. You can order, right, some root beer from them as well. They have like kitty cocktail soda too. I mean, they have like crazy cool stuff. So check them out down below, and have a great Sunday, everyone. That's gonna wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyberg, on this Sunday morning. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Drew Sports Group, the perfect podcast for you.